hydraulic circuit has multiple modes designed into the system, the first of which is the drive mode. It's just like riding a normal bike, the drivetrain goes from the pedals to the pump, from the pump to the motor, and finally from the motor to the axle. The second mode is the charge mode. This utilizes the pedals turning the pump, which then pumps fluid into the accumulator, storing energy for later to be used in the discharge mode. This is the discharge mode. This mode discharges fluid from the accumulator into the motor, supplying power to the axle. Is regen mode. This allows any momentum in the axle to turn the motor, which then pumps fluid into the accumulator to later be used in the discharge mode. The final mode is neutral. Just like any vehicle, this allows the circuit to do nothing, making it ideal for transporting the bike when pushing because no pressure will build in the system.
So this is our electronic control panel. These 4 switches right here control the hydraulics mode, and in addition to that we have USB ports and a cigarette lighter and a voltage meter. That's really nice to see how charged your battery is. And then this is just our master power. This turns on the air compressor, and this actuates the pneumatic parking brake. So back here we have pretty much the brains of the operation. We have our microcontroller relay boards, and then this box allows us to run all these cables back here instead of having to run it up to that switch panel at the top.
For our competition, we decided to go with the pneumatic parking brake. So if we look here, we can see that we have an onboard air compressor, which fills our air reservoir right here. And that leads to our manifold with a pressure gauge and a pressure transducer to record our pressure. And that comes over to a dump valve so we can dump the air from our system. And this also leads to our regulator, which will lead to our 3-2 position valve. So our pneumatics can be controlled electronically with our electronic switchboard up here. So this switch can turn on our air compressor, and then this switch will turn on the actual cylinder. So if we click here, we should get an air compressor turn on. So that button right there will activate our air compressor when it's below 80 psi and will charge up our system to 120 psi. Then this button right here will extend our cylinder and activate the brake.
We bought a Sun Atlas trike as our base frame. To accommodate all of our components, we added a rear platform. The rear brackets had to be cut and raised to fit the disc brake and sprocket, as well as house the accumulator. For our pump and motor, we designed custom mounts and welded them straight to the frame. Chain guards for both the pump and motor were also fabricated for safety. A 2.5-gallon motorcycle tank was fitted to the bike with custom mounts welded to the frame. To house the electronics, a box was fitted on the handlebars, giving the driver a convenient user interface to work with. Special thanks to our supervisors and sponsors, Dr. Todd Letcher, Doug Prairie, Charles Tebbett, SunSource, IFP, and Norgren, for helping us win the awards Best Safety and Reliability and Rookie of the Year.